What's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to make a how to play roulette video, simply explain for people that are going to the casino or people that have been and that were intimidated and confused by all the chips flying around and didn't know what was going on. So I'm going to break it down for you, make it easy so next time you go you can play. Now I'm going to start with the outside bets here, and then I'm going to work my way in. So we'll start with the outside, these two rows here and this one row here. Those are the outside bets. So when you show up at the table, you're going to put your cash down and they're going to give you chips for it. Let's assume I put $20 down. They're going to give me $20 in chips. Each one of these is $1. So they're going to give me 20 chips, and now I'm ready to play. Now this will be a $5 minimum table, and we're going to start with the outside. So if I want to bet any one of these outside bets, I have to put at least $5 down. Any one of these, I have to put at least $5 down. Okay? Now you can't put 2 here and 2 here and 1 here. That's not allowed. They make you do $5 on each one. Okay? That applies to this row and this row. It has to be at least $5. Okay, so now let's talk about the payouts. So on the 1 through 18, first off, it's pretty simple. If the ball lands on 1 through 18, this bet wins. If it lands on an even number, it wins. Red, black, odd, 19 through 36. That's pretty simple, okay? So if you put $5 down on 1 through 18 and it hits, that's going to pay you even money, 1 to 1. So your $5 bet will make a $5 profit. That's the same for any one of these. A $5 bet will win $5 profit on any one of these bets, okay? Now, we're going to move to this here, the 1 through 12, 2 through 12, 3 through 12, and then you have the columns. These are the dozens and the columns. Okay, so if you bet here, again, $5 minimum, you have 1 through 12. That's what you're looking for to hit. Here, 13 through 24. Here, 25 through 36. Okay? So if you bet here, you're $5, and it lands on a 7. That's going to win because it's within your 12 numbers. But this one's a little better. Your $5 bet is going to make a $10 profit. 2 to 1. You have less squares, you only have 12, whereas here you have more. So they're going to give you 2 to 1. $5 bet makes $10 profit. Okay? And that's how it works for each one of these. Okay? The same applies to this. If you bet here, you're going to get a $5 bet is going to get you $10 profit. Now the only difference is if you bet in the dozen here, the third 12, you get these 12. If you bet in the first column, you get these numbers, this row here across, okay? So it's the same payout, it's the same betting, it's just different numbers, okay? 2 to 1 payout, $5 minimum bet, pretty simple. So you have these here pay even money, 1 to 1, these here pay 2 to 1, but you have a little bit less of a chance of winning that one, okay? Now this is where it gets a little more exciting, a little more hectic. This is the inside. This is where all the numbers are. Okay, so what happens with this is you're going to see all different kinds of bets here. You're going to see stuff all over the place. So I'm going to break it down here. We'll start with the line bet. The line bet, now it's important where you put your chip. You want to put your chip where the horizontal and the vertical here meet, right here. That's where that chip lives. That goes right there on that bet, okay? So this here is going to get you 5 to 1. A $1 bet is going to get you $5 profit. You have 2, 4, 6. You have these 6 numbers. So if the ball lands on any one of these, this bet will win. This $1 bet will win you $5 profit. Okay? The next bet you have is the corner. Where this line and this line meet, that's where the chip goes, okay? This bet, if it lands on 13, 14, 16, 17, if the ball lands on any one of those squares, you're going to get 8 to 1, okay? 4 squares, 1 chip pays you 8 to 1 if it lands on any one of these squares. It's not bad. The next bet is the street here, okay? Right on the horizontal line in between the two, in the center of the box, you go right on that line. This is going to get you these 3 numbers. If any one of these 3 land, if any one of these 3 numbers hit, this bet wins. Now this bet is going to get you 11 to 1, okay? So if any one of those 3 numbers hit, that 1 chip is going to pay you $11 profit. That's good. The next level up is when you split the numbers. You go right in between here, right on the line in between the squares. You're going to get 13 and 14 on this bet. If the ball lands on either one of those numbers, this bet is going to pay you 17 to 1. Okay? So your 1 chip, let me see if I can be a dealer for a second. Your 1 chip is going to pay you $17 if it lands on 13 or 14 when you split it. Okay? Now this is the big one. This is the exciting one. If you take your 1 chip and you put it on 14 and the ball lands on 14, that's going to pay you 35 to 1. So your 1 chip is going to get you 35 chips in profit. Okay, now that's exciting, it's fun, it's rare, but it does happen. And that's how that one works. So 35 chips, 35 chips for your 1 chip, which is pretty sweet. So if it lands on 14, you get 35 chips. Okay? Now, if it doesn't land on 14, it's a loss. Okay, so that's the inside betting. Now, also, the zeros are just another number. So if you bet on a 0 with 1 chip, you're going to get the 35 to 1, just like you did on the 14. So if you bet on 0 and it hits, you're going to get 35 to 1, 35 chips for your 1. Same applies for the double 0. And also, you can split the 0 and the double 0 just like we were splitting the numbers here. And that will pay you 17 to 1. Okay, so the zeros are just another number. The only thing to keep in mind about the zeros is on the outside bets, this is how the house gets the edge. If you bet on any of these and a 0 hits, these lose. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. Now, with the betting on the inside, the cool thing about the inside that's different from the outside is when you do the outside, you have to put a minimum of 5 down. So those $5 are glued together, essentially. When you go on the inside, you can split the $5 up. So let's say you like these 5 numbers. You can take your $5 and put 1 on each instead of having to put $5 all on one number. Okay, that's what's fun about the inside, is you can kind of spread out your dollars and kind of, you know, look to see if you can get lucky. Whereas this is a little more simple. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind, where you can take your $5 or more, whatever you're comfortable, you know, throwing out there. You can take and do a line bet. You can do your 5 to 1 line bet. You can do a 17. You can do your split here on the line, and you can do 16 and 17. And now you still have 2 more dollars, and let's say you want to go on the 14, and maybe you want to do the corner here also. Because in roulette, you're going to see there's going to be chips all over the place, okay? So when we look at this, this is interesting, because if a 16 hits, this bet is going to win you money, this bet's going to win you money, and this bet's going to win you money. So that's what's fun about roulette when you play the inside and when you split your dollars up, is you can kind of cast a net a little bit and kind of have different opportunities Whereas if you just put one bet here or one bet here, it's kind of a one shot, one kill kind of thing, okay? So that's just something to keep in mind. The last thing I want to say here is if you're lucky enough to leave the table with money, you don't want to leave the table with these chips. These chips in roulette, unlike any other game, they don't have a value. They're just markers for the game. So you want to address the dealer and have them change out your chips for actual chips that have value that you can use as like money. Because this here in the casino is worthless when you take it away. It's just used for the game of roulette. So let's say you have $5 here. Let's say you have 5 chips left and you want to leave and you want to go do something else. You get the dealer's attention and you say, you know, can I cash out or can I color up? And he's going to give you a $5 chip, okay? So that's the last thing you want to keep in mind. And that's all you're going to do there. I mean, it's pretty simple. At first it looks complicated, but once you do it a couple times and you get comfortable with it, it's a lot of fun. So I hope you win a bunch of money, and if you do, you can thank me. Good luck, guys.